The PlayStation 5 has been, I would say, a success for Sony. I mean, despite the very frustrating launch back in 2020, which they couldn't really predict. They couldn't predict what happened in the world and then how the scalpers and the bots took over. But the new system, well, I mean, it's been successful. It did come out during a time of intense hardware shortages and supply chain issues, which, like I said, price hiking and secondhand sellers took advantage of. But despite that, the PlayStation 5 has sold over 32 million units since its launch, and the console, it's actually starting to be available at major retailers. So what comes next? Welcome to the page, everybody. Chaos here. Today we're going to go over all the details about the PS5 Pro, the PS5 Slim, that's right, the Gen 2 PS5. We're even going to talk about the PlayStation 6, and you're like, okay, that's years off. Well, we have leaks and rumors from trusted insiders about everything. So stick around for the entire video. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you're subscribed. And let me know in the comment section, do you own a PS5? Now, Sony has a history of launching a base console and then they follow it up a few years later with an improved variant or two. The PS3, there was a number of variants with it. The PS4 famously had the Slim and the Pro variants, which helped boost its popularity and it helped increase its availability. Now, ever since the PlayStation 5 launched, we've heard rumors about a Pro variant or a Slim variant or both of those. We've actually had a handful of legitimate sources to back those rumors. Now, it's been a while since we've got something concrete, but just the other day, a report came out from a lot of major tech outlets claiming the designer for the new PlayStation console has actually been revealed. And it verifies previous rumors that we heard about the PlayStation 5 family of consoles. Before we dive into all things PS6 and PS5, G Fuel is doing their first huge BOGO sale of the year. Buy one tub, get one tub free. They even unvaulted the sour green apple. This only lasts until March 22nd, so you guys take advantage. The link is in the description. Sour green PewDiePie, BOGO exclusive. Sour green apple, BOGO exclusive. Go shop right now and take advantage. So let's go over them. Up until this point, it's been widely believed that the PlayStation 6, which presumably is in early stages of development. I know you say, well, each console has a 5 to 8 year lifespan. You're right, but I promise you, they're already boarding the PlayStation 6. They're talking about it. Concepts are happening. That's just how it works. Now, they said it would be designed by Mark Cerny, who previously designed the PS4 and the PS5, and it makes me wonder, what is his paycheck for designing such monumental pieces of tech in the world? That's crazy. Anyway, the rumor was seemingly confirmed a few days ago when a number of trusted Sony insiders claimed that Cerny is hard at work designing something new for PlayStation, and that will likely be the next major console release, the PlayStation 6. Now, you may be thinking, and you're right, that it's too early for Sony to be thinking about the PlayStation 6, but once again, keep in mind, these things take a long time to develop, and the PlayStation 5 is already turning 3 years old later this year, which is absolutely insane, I know. Consoles tend to last 6 to 8 years before being succeeded with something new, so it would make sense for Sony to start working on their PS6 concepts this year if they intend on releasing the new console in 2027 or 2028. Now, it's also been stated by a number of trusted insiders that a few first-party studios, they're already thinking about the PlayStation 6 and their games that will be coming. Naughty Dog's The Last of Us Part 3 will probably be released at the end of the PS5's life cycle and then likely get some kind of enhanced port to the PS6 roughly a year later, which would put the PS6 release window around 2028. So what does that mean for the PS5? So Sony previously alluded to some kind of new PS5 variant debuting as early as April of this year, which is right around the corner as of the making of this video. Insiders claim the new version of the console will have a more powerful chip. It will be more effective cooling, meaning this first variant will likely either be the PS5 Pro or the Slim, but I think it's going to be the Pro. But then again, a number of insiders have also leaked development documents of a smaller, quieter version of the PS5, which that would be the Slim. So if Sony is planning on repeating history here, which they probably will, the Pro and Slim variants likely won't launch too far away from each other. There won't be a big gap. The PS4 Slim and the PS4 Pro, they actually launched just a few months apart. Now, these consoles didn't launch in the middle of a global hardware shortage, but if the PS5 Pro comes out in April, I'm going to guess the PS5 Slim would come out late summer or early fall. Now, if the Pro is going to come out in April, we should be getting an update any day now. Sony has to space all these things out so they don't completely invalidate the original PS5 model, but they also need to find that balance to entice people to get a new system or perhaps upgrade their current one, and there's a lot of people that don't have the original. They may just wait. Putting more options on the market, it's a good idea for maximizing your sales, but you don't want to overwhelm the consumer with too many options at once. Now, some people have bought the launch PS5, myself included, and then they may want to upgrade to one of the new models, which I probably will. Other people may have skipped the launch model or couldn't get their hands on it, and they may be enticed by a Pro or a Slim. And then any number of PS5 owners may want to trade in their current model, go sell it for a new one. And then you have the elitists that want every single version of every single console, so they'll just buy all of them. All these scenarios increase sales for Sony, and that's what they want. So the PS5 Slim and Pro will likely have a staggered release from one another. Now, Tom Henderson of Insider Gaming claimed in the past he's been getting more information about the PS6 than the PS5 variants, which, that's weird. It is. He claimed that the upcoming PS5 variant isn't actually going to be a Slim or a Pro version, just rather called a Gen 2 version. Now, this would imply that Sony intends on going with a possible third generation, or at least they've considered it, but this would definitely be a drastic change from what they have done in the previous PlayStation consoles' lifespans. So, what does it mean for the future of the PS5 family of consoles? I think the increase in PSX rumors means that the PS5 variants, or whatever it's going to be, Gen 2, Slim, Pro, all combined, is right around the corner. Think about it. Why would all the insiders be talking about a PlayStation 6 if the next generation of PlayStation 5 is still in development? Why would people all of a sudden stop leaking PS5 Pro information and start talking about a console that's years off? I think it's pretty simple. The PS5 Pro, or whatever we're going to get, the Gen 2 version, is probably close. Very close. So now they're going to start gearing up and working on the PlayStation 6. I know it sounds a bit anticlimactic to you and me, but if you're Sony and this is the 5th time around, you know what you're doing. I mean, you really, really do. So if we're starting to hear more and more rumors about the PlayStation 6, which we are, it likely means that they're ready to move forward with their console development, which means the PS5 variants, whatever they may end up being and what they're called, are either finished or they're almost finished. Sony did tease a new PlayStation console coming out this year, and with the increase of PS6 rumors, I think we're pretty safe to say that the next generation of PS5 is about to be at our fingertips. When? Well, here's my best guess. It's possible Sony wants to do their own full state of play presentation to focus on the PlayStation 5 consoles, but it's also possible and likely that they just release a YouTube trailer and some marketing, and then they hot drop it. I mean, that would make sense if it was going to come out in April, because we don't have a lot of time. I also think that the first-party Sony conference rumored to be coming before this year's E3 conference could be where they do it. Now, this may end up being too packed of a conference. I guess it depends on how long of a showcase Sony is planning on having. Now, given that Sony elected to not have their own E3 conference this year, I think they're going to have some big news to show. We know Spider-Man 2 and The Last of Us multiplayer game are probably going to get coverage there, but I think we're going to get a look at our PS5's new variant. So what do you guys think? Would you buy a second-generation PS5? And if so, how much would you pay? What do you think the price should be for a Pro, a Slim, or just a Gen 2 that's a combination of all of them? I think they could launch around $500. Base PS5 may go down to $400 or $450. The highest I think they could get away with a Pro would probably be $550. If you get into the 6s, people are going to get upset. Now, at the end of the day, it likely has to do with how much of a supply Sony can get out to retailers on launch day. We all know that. And if there's another limited hardware issue like the base PS5, who knows? So let me know what you guys think. Will you be grabbing one of these new PlayStation 5 variants? I'll see you guys soon.